What is going on? Going down. Ready down. There's this what was the name of that cartoon? The girl's name was Penny. It was like this black cartoon. Uh, anyway, Penny was playing football. I can't think of the name of this cartoon that came on in the 90s and early 2000s. But the girl's name was Penny. I can't think of the name. But anyway, Penny was playing football. I don't know if y'all remember this episode, but the quarterback, the quarterback, every time he got set, he would, because it was a black show, it was a black cartoon, the quarterback was singing the cadence, right? He was singing the cadence. It was so black, y'all. He'd be like, set, ready down, and then he'd be like, ready down. He was he was singing the cadence. I think it was David Allen Greer or Tommy Davidson was the dad. But it was like, ready down. But anyway, I thought that was funny. I've been looking for that cartoon on YouTube forever. Just that episode when Penny was playing football. But back in here with some more grinding out work, some more value for you all. I am the Valiionaire. This is Marlon Heard, the Valiionaire. I've been an entrepreneur now since 2002, and I've learned a lot in this game. I've learned a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've won a lot. I've lost a lot. I've learned a lot. I've helped a lot of people. There's some times in there where I didn't help people, right? Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about the times where I didn't help people. When I learned the process. And the process itself isn't helpful, right? Whatever I learned didn't yield someone results. And they paid for it, okay? And they paid for the training or the class or what have you, right? And it didn't work out, for a lot of individuals. And I'm like, man, it makes me feel horrible that it didn't work out, but that's how it goes sometimes. But there were a handful of people that time that said, hey, I learned a great deal. And as a result of that class, they knew some things not to do, some things to do, some things they may have done a little different. And but deep down inside, I'm like, man, people have spent their money on this class, and the results, they didn't get the results because things were changing as we were learning. And so by the time they got done, those things they were learning, I don't want to say they're obsolete. They just didn't have the effectiveness that they had at the time when we started. Okay? So, back here with some more money mindset, some things that you may want to avoid if you want to reach certain levels and processes in your financial life. Okay? So, here are 3 things that you may want to avoid if you want to become a millionaire. And a millionaire means that all of the money you have, the assets you have, equal up to $1 million. That means you could touch it or have a way to liquidate it so you can get your hands on the cash. Okay? So there's a couple of things that you may want to avoid if you want to become a millionaire. Now, once you hit these statuses, if you want to continue with some of these things, you can, but I promise you're not going to want to. Right? So one of the first things that you want to avoid is buying status symbols. Okay? Status symbols are just somebody's last name. Versace, last name. Okay? Tommy Hilfiger, last name. Mercedes-Benz, those are 2 last names. Porsche, Lamborghini, these are all last names. So, right, you're paying for someone's last name. So, status symbols are a huge waste of money. Listen, I've done it. Nobody cares about, I'm not going to say nobody, but the amount of people that you want to care is not going to matter enough once you get, because once people see it and the initial effect wears off, now it's just, that's what you do. Right? There's a guy in my gym that drives a Lamborghini Urus. When I see him at the gym, I'm like, what's up, Wes? What's up, man? And I just keep it rolling. Right? I just keep it up. But when he first got, I was like, oh, man, how's that Lamborghini? How's it drive? Is it fast? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody has a question. Now it's just, that's what he drives. Okay? Now I'm pretty sure he's getting it for his own satisfaction, but Wes is a millionaire. All right? What he does some incredible stuff. He makes stupid money. So he's like, well, but before he got the status symbol, he bought an asset that pays for the status symbol. He said, the same time I got the car, I bought this commercial property. Or I bought a piece of a commercial property. And that commercial property, the revenue and the profits I earn pays for the car. He said, by the time I'm done with this car, that commercial property will probably, increase in value. Okay, so stop buying status symbols. Yeah, they look nice, but it's just clothes. It's the same material. The same place you buy your status symbols is the same place that Walmart's clothes come from. Target's clothes come from. All those clothes you see at the Goodwill at one point in time was a status symbol to somebody. That is a huge waste of money. I'm not saying not to. I'm saying get it when you can really afford it. But when you're looking to become a millionaire, you want to leave all that by the wayside. You see people on the news robbing stores, stealing stores. For what? For some Gucci bags? Just so you can walk around your neighborhood or school with a Gucci bag on? Knowing people knowing you can't afford that stuff. I went to Vegas and bought my Gucci bag. It was $2,500. Matter of fact, it was 26 something. And I bought a pair of shoes that were $975. So if you walk around with $1,000 shoes and a $25 bag, and you live in not so great an area, or everybody around you make $30,000, $40,000 a year, they're gonna be like, "What are you doing? Who did you steal that from? And why do you have it on?" What are you doing with this stuff? You know what this means. Okay? Don't buy status symbols. Let your money be your status. Let your lifestyle be your status. Right? When you're creating memories because you went to Bali for a week, or you went to the Maldives for a week, or your grandkids are taken care of and your trust is set up, and let your lifestyle, you got time freedom, you do what you want to do. Let that be your status. Now, I'm not saying not to do it, but do it when you can truly afford it. Okay? Number 2, hanging around broke mindsets. I'll never forget this in network marketing. They told us this. If you hang around 9 broke people, you are bound to be the 10th. But if you hang around positive-minded people and wealthy people and people who are moving in that direction, you are bound to be the 10th. I would never forget this. Because a lot of my friends have broke mindsets. A lot of my fraternity brothers at the time, when I was getting involved in network marketing and hanging around these multimillionaires and hanging around these people that had these certain mindsets, all my broke friends were like, "What are you doing? That stuff ain't gonna work. Oh, I heard about that. They scamming you." And then 2 years later, when I pulled up on them, and me and my homies who were in that business rented out all the VIPs at the club that weekend, and all my friends wanted to get in the VIP, and we were stealing everybody's girlfriends that night, right? With they broke mindsets. But anyway, that's when I was younger. Okay? So, hanging around broke mindsets. That includes the people closest to you, your family, your significant other. At the time when I was married, I had to put my wife on a season of separation. I just had to leave. I had to not tell her too much about what was going on within that business opportunity because it wasn't flourishing yet. All she saw me was going to meetings, going to trainings, going out of town, going to big events, going to trainings, on calls. And she was like, "You still doing this?" And I'm only making $500-600 a month. She's like, "Why are you doing all this for $500-600 a month?" And I kept trying to tell her, "I've seen it. I've seen it. I was in the house with an elevator. I drove the cars. I sat in the private jets. I've seen it. I've seen too much to know that it won't work for me." And sure enough, it caught up. Okay? I had to put my aunt on a Caesar separation. She gave me hell. You know, my mother passed away when I was, a young man. She's like, what was your mother think? You're out here, and I had to remind her, my mother was an entrepreneur. She started doing nails in the house and then moved into a salon. I watched her do that. I watched her build from doing nails into the house to opening up her own salon. I was there every step of the way, building stuff, putting stuff together. I put up her whole speaker system in her salon at the age of 16. Or was I young? I might have been 14. Okay? You cannot hang around. Listen, put your friends aside. Put those family members aside. They don't want to see you fail. Right? They're trying to protect your feelings. That's what they're telling you not to do. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you struggle. Because that's exactly what's going on. You're struggling. They don't want to see you struggling. So, no, let's try something else. Go get a job. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, you keep listening to those positive-minded, wealthy, going in the right direction people. And I promise you, you'll be the 10th. I remember at events, I used to be the one standing in a circle around the leader while the leader talked. And then one day I was talking to somebody and there was a circle around me listening to me. And my older sister was there. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I saw what you used to do. The people were doing it to you. You were standing around talking and there was a big circle of people listening to what you had to say." And I remember I used to be on the circle on the outside looking in. It was one of the best feelings in the world. Okay? Avoid hanging around broke-minded people. It's going to be really, really challenging. It's going to be extremely challenging because you love these people. And you don't want to think, you don't want them to think that you don't like them or love them, but you got something to do. You intend to become a millionaire. And for a lot of people, you may be the first one. So you got to do some things that most people are not doing. And most of your people aren't doing those things, so they're not going to understand what you're doing. Why are you reading all these books? Why are you on the call? Why are you on the Zoom? Why are you always talking about this? It ain't working. People just tell me all the time, "You made $1 million yet? You made $1 million yet? You make $1 million yet?" Okay? That's number 2. Number 3, not investing. First of all, not investing in yourself. Investing in your personal development. There's a reason why there's a self-help section. Books like Think and Grow Rich, 48 Laws of Power, The Art of War, Seduction, all the leadership books by John C. Maxwell. All right, it's a reason for this. You want to become a millionaire, you have to personally develop yourself. You have to become a millionaire before the money shows up. You have to become a millionaire before the money shows up. You have to invest in yourself. Invest in those books, invest in those courses, invest in those coaches. Invest in those books, invest in those courses, invest in those coaches. Invest in those books, invest in those courses, invest in those coaches. All they're going to be doing is helping you get better. And who can get better? Anybody. Anybody that's ambitious. Anybody that's ambitious. You're not investing. You just hoping it happens. Or you wait for somebody to give it to you. Before you become a millionaire, you become a millionaire. And then the money catches up. Above all things, I pray that your soul prospers just as you prosper. And your soul is your mindset. Is your mind growing? Too many people avoid not investing. Too many people avoid not investing. Too many people avoid investing. Because you know why? They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait for the time. But guess what? Time is going to pass whether you wanted to or not. You're going to be waiting anyway. You might as well put some money somewhere or invest in things and let the time pass while you're learning and things are growing and money's growing and your mindset's growing, your business is growing, your process is growing, your systems are growing. It's going to, listen, time is going to pass whether you want it to or not. You might as well be doing something that's going to get you to the position where you want to be. Invest in yourself. That's the biggest investment you can make, is investing in yourself. Your own personal development. Right? You want to know why people talk about Michael Jordan so much? LeBron James, Kobe Bryant? Is because they worked on their personal development. We talk about Tom Brady. Personal development. Tom Brady in his 40s was out on the beach working out. He was like, what ring is most important? He said, the next one. The next one. Personal development. The next one. And they went above, beyond everyone else. My high school track coach told me, he said, Heard, there is no traffic at the extra mile. That means that if I tell you run a mile, you run a mile and a half, that half mile is the extra mile. If I say do a 400 and you do 425 or you do an extra one, that's the extra mile. Because every time we do 5 400s and you do one more, at the end of the week, everybody else did 25, you did 30. That extra 5 could mean the difference between running 2 minutes flat or running under 2 minutes. So, every week I would do one more. Every time we practice, I would do one more. 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 By the time the big meets came, it showed on the track. As a matter of fact, I did so many one mores, the day my mother passed away, the day after my mother passed away, I still ran in the track meet. It was the Canfield Invitational. I still ran in the track meet the day after my mother passed. You know why? Because I had done so many one mores. And my mother would have told me, get your butt on that track. Don't worry about me. She told me that while she was in the hospital. Don't worry about me. Whatever happens to me is going to happen. You keep doing what you do. Okay? So, 3 things to avoid if you want to become a millionaire. Buying status symbols, hanging around broke mindsets, not investing. Okay, so if you want to undo all of this, come see me. Come join us in the Budget Boys Financial Education Community. It's free to join. Come find out your leak score. All of this starts with your leak score. You want to become a millionaire, you got to create margin. Because margin creates wealth. And right now, you don't have any margin. So come learn what your leak score is. Because your leak score is bigger than your credit score. So somewhere with this entry, you better click on the link. All right, in the description area, somewhere, come join us. Come join us. We're coming from a practical standpoint, not all that complicated shit. Okay, so, Marlon the Valiionaire, we'll see you on the next episode.